Good evening and welcome to Hoops Friday Night. Alongside Tyler Segerman, I'm Jayson Geiser, and we begin tonight with Lima Senior, trying to take their second step toward a fourth straight Three Rivers Athletic Conference crown. Both the Spartans and tonight's opponent from Whitmer won their league openers a week ago. Senior High has won the last 5 matchups over the Panthers by an average of 12 points per game. Tonight brings our first look at this year's Spartans at full strength. Both last Friday's win over Findlay and Saturday's loss to Mansfield Senior came with key players sitting out. Second quarter, Anthony Mosley's fighting for the ball on the floor, gets it to Brent Moss, who throws it down. Senior High has a 25-22 lead. Then Shalom Stout drives, spins, and lays it in. The junior gives the Spartans a 29-25 advantage. Now it's Mosley, pretty good when he's on his feet as well. Showing off the post moves and dropping it in. Lima leads 34-31 at the half. Third quarter, Cameron Miles off the dribble, pulling up in the paint. The senior has the Spartans clinging to a 2-point lead. Then Khalil Luster finds Moss flashing across the post, laying it home. That stops a 9-0 Whitmer run. Lima Senior's down 3. Late in the quarter, Jerrion Mayo gives to Brandon Moore right in front of us. That gets Lima back within 3. And in the waning ticks of the third, Moore returns the favor to Mayo on the break. Senior High wins in overtime, 78-72. Up the highway in Findlay, the Trojans have had a full week to break down last Friday's loss in Lima. Tonight they return home for a date with 3-0 Toledo St. John's, with whom both Findlay and Lima Senior shared last season's track title. Second half, Jake Bishop and 1. This game's neck and neck the whole way. Down 3, final minute. Max Roth, clutch. We are tied at 64 per side. Final ticks now, trailing by 3 again. Deep 3, off the mark. Findlay gets the rebound, but the last second prayer is not answered. The Trojans fall 67-64. In the Western Buckeye League, it's opening night of WBL play, and for the Titans of Ottawa-Glandorf, it also marked their season opener. Trip to the state semifinals in football, the reason for the delayed start, which I'm sure they don't mind. Still, right out of the gate, a league battle against unbeaten WAPAKONETA. No rest for the weary, I suppose. OG and WAPAK, our Hoops Friday Night Spotlight Game.
This Hoops Friday Night Spotlight Game is presented by Midwest Electric Incorporated.
For the first time since 2004, these two have opened up league play against one another, and in that time, only one team has come out victorious, Ottawa-Glandorf. And they have a man by the name of Colin White who is simply spectacular. His team up 10 in the late stages of the third. Carter Schindler finds White in the paint and knocks down the short jumper, and he wouldn't be done by any stretch, this time spinning and powering his way through the defense for another bucket. Advantage grows to 12. Ensuing possession, Zach Rogers pump fakes and lets it fly from behind the arc. That brings the Skins within single digits following 3 quarters of action. In the fourth, Titans utilize the art of ball movement. Eli Schmenk finds Theo Mogg underneath. His layup jumps the OG lead back up to 12. But again, WAPAK responds. Grant Bauer to Rogers, and numero Trey hits from 3 once more. Skins trying to stay in it, yet tonight belonged to the sophomore sensation. White stealing the show, going one-on-one with his man, and finishes that battle with a swish. Matches his jersey number tonight with 22 points, leading Ottawa-Glandorf to a 54-40 victory.
On Tuesday, Bath earned new head coach Sean Powell his first victory on the Wildcats bench. Tonight, they make the trip across Lima to Powell's alma mater, Shawnee. The Indians beat Bath by 19 in the season opener at the Tip-Off Classic. First quarter, the Tribe comes out hot. Austin Miller, 3-ball money. Shawnee has the first basket of the game, and then Brady Wheeler swings it cross court. Toby Freiberger's good for 3 more. Quickly at 6-0 Indians. They are feeling it in front of the home crowd at Lappin. Here's more from Miller in the corner, in the spotlight. He came to play from the jump. It's 9-1 Shawnee. Then off a rebound, Jamari Johnson kicks to Miller for more. The Indians have a 12-1 advantage. Bath needs a timeout. Out of the stoppage, the Wildcats are running. Cole Craddock stops, pops, and it drops. The freshman cuts the deficit to 7. Then it's twin brother Drake Craddock putting it on the floor, gaining the lane and flipping it home. But the Tribe always has the answer. Anthony Best draining the pull-up J. The Indians stay unbeaten, winning 74-51. Around the WBL we go. Defiance gets a nice home win over St. Mary's, 48-35. Jarrett Jolliffe scores 24 to lead Kenton past Elida, 60-52. And Van Wert goes on the road for a win at Salina, 55-39.
It's also the opening night of Northwest Conference play. Spencerville takes their 3-0 record across the county line into Convoy, where Crestview was off to a 2-1 start to the post-Kalen Etzler era. Opening quarter, Tyler Koenig receives the pass and it hits perfect from long range. Bearcats up 1, and the marksmanship became contagious. Koenig to Josh Henline. He hangs 3 more on the board. Lead grows. But here comes the Knights. Mitch Temple to Carson Hunter and let the 3-point contest commence. He's showing off his touch, and later Temple connects with Nate Lichtel. The paint must have been off limits tonight inside Ray Etzler Gymnasium. Knights now now ahead by 3. And how about one more? Why not? Hunter tingling the twine from behind the arc. Crestview outduels the Bearcats 46-44. To the 3-time defending conference champs, Columbus Grove, they haven't lost the NWC game in 2 straight seasons, while the other Bulldogs, Ada, already trying to match win total from last year. Not looking good for the home dogs, though. It's 56-8 in the third, and Trey Schotter doesn't help that, hitting this floater. And on the other end, Carter Conley showing some grit, leaping up for the board, and gets rewarded. That gets the home team in double digits. Todd Cook in the paint with the basket and the Band-Aid. He'd finish off the 3-point play to make it 65-10. Jacob Southerly letting it fly from behind the arc, hitting nothing but net. But in the end, Grove well in control of this outcome. Cook coming in to clean this one up. Columbus Grove picks up their first conference win of the season, 74-24.
Both Bluffton and Jefferson enter tonight in search of their second win of the year. The Pirates and Jeff Cats meet atop the stage to tip off the conference campaign. Third quarter, Trenton Donnelly to Carson Soper for the Bluffton layup. The Pirates lead by 3, but the Wildcats fight back. Trent Tiemann has space to lay this in and draw the foul. The 3-point play ties the game, and now Andrew Miller gives to a streaking Colin Bailey for the hoop and the harm. The home team has a 3-point lead. It doesn't last. Off a turnover, Kyler Kinn going long to Trey Boblet for the layup. Bluffton retakes the lead, and they add to it. Soper, take it to the hoop one time. The Pirates win 45-39. Just one other game in the NWC tonight, and it's Lipsick's first foray into their new conference. The Vikings beat Lincoln 57-52. Mason Brandt leads Lipsick with 25.
We need to take our first break here on Hoops Friday night. When we come back, the defending state champs play non-conference action while league games continue in the MAC, SCL, and BVC. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Hoops Friday night. You'd think after losing 3 starters and your head coach, there would be some type of drop-off when it came to the BOTKINS Trojans. None at all. Not only are the defending D4 state champs perfect thus far, but they have won every game by double digits. Coach Grove's guys looking to make it 4-0 on the young season, hosting Parkway. And off the tip, Trojans going right to their big man, Jacob Plyman, underneath for the early deuce. Always key to get him rolling. Then it's Plyman again, who can't convert here, but Dylan Top comes crashing in for the putback. 4-0 BOTKINS out of the gates. Later, Plyman finding younger brother Carter, who gets the hoop and the harm. They combine for 22 tonight as the Trojans remain out front. Parkway, though, keeping this game close. Fletcher Smith finds Trent Rollins in the corner, and the triple try banks off the rim and gets a friendly roll before finding the bottom of the net. Deficit cut to 2. Other end, Trojans working it around, and you don't want to leave this man open. Jamison Meyer from the in-between connects. Team high 15 for the senior. BOTKINS remains unbeaten. Rather, they win 47-33. Anna, who shared the regular season Shelby County League crown with BOTKINS last year, still seeking their first SCL win of the campaign. Traveling to Fort Laramie, who has won 3 straight. Opening minute of play, it's scoreless. Logan Ireland crashes the glass and feeds Ty Ruenkamp, who nails the 3. That gets the Skins cooking early. But wait, they're not done. Ruenkamp, who's looking to find his spot on defense, realizes there's a loose ball, sends it ahead to Aiden Wehrman, who goes up strong for the and 1. Just like that, it's a quick 5-0 run. Feeding off their hot start, Caleb Meyer finds Ireland, who puts it home. Fort Laramie up 10-0, and Anna needs a timeout. Out of it, McCain Finkenbein calls his own number and puts a halt to that drought, laying it in to bring the Rockets within 8, but Laramie proves too much to slow down. Hayden Hulskamp beyond the arc, bottoms. Fort Laramie wins 55-39. More from Shelby County as Russia wins on the road at Fairlawn 69-21, and Jackson Center leaves Houston with a 53-14 victory.
Neighbors collide this evening in the MAC. 3-1 New Bremen makes the short 3.5-mile road trip to Minster. Fresh off their first ever outright league title last winter, the Wildcats are 0-3 on the new campaign. Third quarter, Devin Wibker dishes to Brogan Steffi, who's on the mark from beyond the arc. The Wildcats have a 10-point lead at home, and now Johnny Nixon goes to work in the post. His bucket gives the Wildcats a 37-26 advantage, but New Bremen begins to come back. Reese Bussey drive into the basket. Cardinals back within single digits. Then in the fourth, David Holman's on the fast break. Straight to the hoop and 1. Just like that, we're tied at 38 all, and now it's Holman again, forcing a turnover and taking it down for another bunny. New Bremen wins 46-42. Only one other game in the MAC tonight. St. John's earns a second straight victory, beating Fort Recovery 52-48. In the Blanchard Valley, both Liberty-Benton and VANLUE were victorious in their league openers. The quest for a 2-0 BVC start takes the Wildcats west into Liberty Township. First half, Malik Eckford lets his man fly past and lays at home, the Eagles are starting to build a lead, and they add on with some defense. Carson Conway pokes it loose, heads the other way, and he is clear for takeoff. Throwing down in transition. Liberty-Benton takes a 20-10 advantage, and then it's Conway going up and under. He scores 21, and the Eagles soar to a 65-48 victory. Around the Blanchard Valley, Arlington keeps pace with LB, beating Corey Rawson 57-32. Pandora Gilboa is also 2-0 in the league with a 74-21 win over Arcadia. Van Buren tops Macomb 55-50, and Riverdale falls at North Baltimore 59-55.
We're set for our second and final break of the night here on Hoops Friday Night. On the other side, a trio of games in the Northwest Central Conference, including the three-time defending league champs taking to their home court. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Three-time defending Northwest Central Conference champion Perry begins the league campaign tonight, welcoming Elgin to Volbert Gymnasium. First quarter, Will Knight fights it up and in. The home team ties the game in the early going, and that really gets them started. Braden Knight comes streaking in for the layup. The Commodores now have the lead, and then Braden Knight inbounds the ball to Joey Hurston, who cans the three. Perry streaks out to a 9-4 lead, and they keep it coming. It's Aiden Simpson's turn to hang three on the home side of the board. A 10-0 run has the doors up 12-4, and how about one more from deep? Ryan Yinks does the honors. Perry wins 54-38. Just like the Commodores, Ridgemont hits the start of NWCC play with a 3-1 record. The Golden Gophers have won 3 straight since their opening night loss at Ada. Tonight they're back on the road visiting Temple Christian. Fourth quarter, Grant Reppert spots Mason Stuck waiting behind the arc, and the senior strokes the triple. Ridgemont's in complete control of this one. Other way, Landon Callahan gives to Dawson Clay in close, and the sophomore scores it. However, it's a 30-point game. Temple fights to the end. Cody Motter battles for the offensive rebound, composes himself, and goes back up. This one's all Ridgemont, 69-44.
Upper Scioto Valley carries a flawless 2-0 record into the opening Friday of league play. The Rams host Waynesfield-Goshen, a team fresh off its first W a week ago. Didn't take long for the Rams to spark the scoreboard. Off and inbounds, Alex Saunders grabbing the rock, and he'll go right down the lane, hitting the shot despite being fouled. Old-fashioned three is how he kicks things off. USV then forces a turnover. Drew Stevens faking the shot before dumping it off for Maddox Underwood, who converts, make it 5-0 Rams. Tigers would settle in. Zamir Daniel finds himself ready to shoot, and from range buries a three ball. That pulls the game within a possession. Moments later, Waynesfield-Goshen trying to tie it up. Blake Barnes driving and delivering. His basket falls, all knotted up at 5, but the home team wasn't done. Seconds later, off another inbounds pass, Jackson roars, battling his defender in the paint. Advantage USV as they remain perfect, taking this one 61-34. One other result from the Northwest Central Conference this evening, Hard Northern protects their home court with a 49-41 win over Ridgedale.
In the Putnam County League, just one game tonight. Ottoville tops their neighbors from Fort Jennings, 53-42. Several PCL teams play non-league. Kalida and Miller City both send opponents back north into Henry County with losses. Kalida over Holgate, Miller City handing PH their first loss. Continental also notches a W for the PCL, 41-35 over Fairview. Wayne Trace beats Liberty Center, 63-44. Paulding loses a heartbreaker to Maumee Valley Country Day, 37-36. Central Buckeye Conference, Indian Lake takes care of Ben Logan, 74-56. And Bell Fountain loses to Jonathan Alder, 49-23. That's how we wrap up another edition of Hoops Friday Night. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, thanks to everyone here who helps us put the show on the air. Have a great weekend.